Okay, so my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, it's gonna be a quick should you summon video because this banner is actually rerunning the Ultra Super Gogeta banner, and Ultra Super Gogeta is a menace. I'm not going to lie, especially if any fusions appear in the festival, which is very likely. I want to point that out. It's extremely likely, and if you have this guy in your box alongside any other fusion character that might come out, most likely in the part 2 of the festival. Might come with part 1, maybe there's a new mechanic with a fusion tag 4s, you know, the biggest thing in GT is Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. It's very likely that Ultra Super Gogeta's value will skyrocket. Now, I want to point out that right now, he is not valuable, like really and truly. Everybody's using Beast Gohan. If you have Beast Gohan, you do not need Ultra Super Gogeta. But with that being said, it depends on what team you want to build. But regardless of that fact, the way they rerun these ultras, I don't feel like it's very necessary to actually summon on this banner, even though this banner has some valuable assets on it, which will be, let's say, of some possible importance during the festival. So if we actually look at what's on the banner, we got Gogeta, like I already spoke about, the main man. He's the main unit on the banner, who's actually you're going to be looking for. And he's going to work on Fusion Warriors. He worked on movies, but like I said, Beast Gohan's way better than him. So you don't need him for movies. But if you're looking to run a fusion team, it's very likely that this guy here, Gogeta Blue, could Zenkai. A lot of people have been pointing towards that. I'm not guaranteeing it, and I'm not telling you that he is going to Zenkai. But if he does, this guy's value also goes up. But he could also be run on movies anyway, so you still don't need to consider this anyway, if you probably already have him 7 stars. But this guy here, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, his value will definitely go up with the fact that GT as a whole is already on the uprise with the 4Q Zenkai. So overall, I think it's very clear cut on who has value on the banner. CMZ could get a plat and UI sign is like Zenkai bound, but with 4Q getting a Zenkai, it's very unlikely that he will Zenkai anytime by the end of the year. So it's not very much necessary for you to summon this banner. I do also want to say, with the fact that they're releasing more summonable ultras, so I think we have 4 now. We have Kaioken, Ultra Super Gogeta, Ultra Vegeta, and Broly. If they release another one in the festival, that'll be 5. And every couple like month or 2, they drop a rerun of an ultra. And if they rerun Ultra Super Gogeta, or if they rerun an ultra flat out, you don't know which one it's going to be. You might be waiting for Super Gogeta, but now you might have to wait 5 months or even 6 or 7 months just for Ultra Super Gogeta to come back, because they're rerunning Vegito, Broly, Kaioken, and whoever drops for the festival most likely. So generally speaking, the value of this banner right before the festival is very low, and you don't need to summon on the banner. You should very much just skip it. But I want to point out that if you miss your opportunity right now, you're not gonna, it's very unlikely for you to get one rapido basically. Whereas before there was only like a few ultra banners. We're getting more and more now, so then the rerun order of the one that you specifically want is less likely every single time. We did get a rerun not too long ago of Ultra Vegito, so if they rerun every single month, then it's more likely, which is most likely what they're going to be heading to do, because they want to take our Chrono Crystals like that. They're dropping insane baits more than ever before. But then again, that's still a risk, and you're still banking on the fact that you're going to have value of this unit at a time where there's probably already another unit that's running the metal or on the boost, because they drop LFs every single month. Not even including the ultra that might drop that month. They're rerunning an old ultra, and there's a new one on the map. You know what I'm saying? Then the Zenkais and possible all-stars that have decent mechanics, like we've seen AGF, Angel Golden Frieza. Do I have any others? The Mecha Frieza is actually pretty decent as well, the one that's in the game right now. Tien, he's a fraud. Tien's a big fraud. I want to point that out. Tien is an insane fraud, but it looked like he had value. But for the guys that are new to ultra banners, I should probably go into how this banner works out. So we have ultra characters, and you get 2000 Z power from the ultra. You don't get 2000 Z power from any of the other characters, only the ultra. So if you pull Ultra Super Gogeta one time, that's immediately 5 stars. That's 2000 Z power. Then you go to 4000 Z power. Then you go to 6000, 8000, and then the last pull, if you pull them 5 times, you get them to 14 stars. But everybody else is 600. But what you also need to know is the fact that the rates for the banner is much lower. So 0.35 to pull Ultra Super Gogeta, and you're not guaranteed any pity. So you know, with the Legend Limited banners, there's usually a pity system where you get coins every time you do a step. You don't get coins in this one, you just get these bum Legends tickets that you can use for old Sparkins in the exchange shop. LLs and regular Sparkins, but there's not a large selection as well. And you only get one copy, and it costs 1,000 tickets for the LLs. So that makes it even harder to just access, which is actually just a way bigger deal. So overall, these tickets over time, they will stack up, but if you're new to the game, these don't have that much value to you. Like I already talked about the main banner unit, so I think that's pretty much it. You get a sparking every time. That's pretty much the only thing that separates this from a LL banner and an Ultra banner. Ultra banners, you're guaranteed a sparking every single summon, but it's most likely going to be trash. So if you see a Nimbus Cloud, you've probably got a Legends Limited character. I just want to point that out because that means it's a featured unit. But then other than that, you could just be getting a bunch of yellow Gold 10s, red Omega Shenrons, like Basils. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a good run. You're going to be feeling like, oh, it's a sparking every time, so you're getting good stuff. And for the guys that are new to the game, you're building up Z power for a lot of other units and Z abilities and whatnot. Fair enough. But for the most part, it's just not valuable overall. And I don't advise anybody to actually go in on this banner. I just want to point out the actual possibilities of the actual banner and what it provides, given that we're heading into festival and we're getting more ultras as we're going along. I usually do these should you summons all the time, every time an ultra drops, reruns anyways, and it's pretty much the same result every single time. So it's is it worth it? Probably not, because we're leading into something, so don't bother. I'd say between like the months of like January heading into May, when the actual anniversary starts, you're kind of good. Maybe not around May, but earlier than that, you're very much good. But again, it depends on what's coming out in the meta, and especially around that period that I just mentioned, you don't know what's going to come out because they're just regular months. But when it's the festival or the anniversary, it's a lot more, alright, boom, we're getting buffed for this tag, so we know we're getting this. Right now we're getting GT, so if we don't get something GT related, it would be kind of insane. And I feel like the biggest thing we can get is either another Super Saiyan 4 GOGETA, maybe an Omega Shenron, or the tag Super Saiyan 4s that everybody's been talking about. So I feel like that's pretty much a no-brainer. But yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video like that. Hopefully this video was useful. Always gonna do these should you summons every time they drop an ultra rerun. Let me know if you're summoning or not. I'm not. I already have a 14-star Super Gogeta, and if you've been watching my streams, don't think that because my Super Gogeta hits like a brick, if you pull one copy, yours will. Yeah, press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media is going to be on the top of the screen right now, but in the description below. So this the YouTube channel is to go to Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and the Discord link all in the description below. I know on the date here it doesn't say the correct date, but that's simply because I'm using an old one because the game's in maintenance right now. But the banner is rerunning. So yeah, appreciate you guys for watching the video. Like I said, make sure to press that subscribe button. My name's Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.